Fox Sports 910, Benjamin Garcia filling in on today's edition of The Drive, July 1st. We are so close to the 4th of July, which what I used to symbolize as a kid as ultimately the halfway point of summer, where you could basically see school starting again. You start counting the weeks, because before that, you're not necessarily doing that. You're not counting the weeks. You're like, I've got 15 of these. Now you're down to like 5 or 6. It was always the symbolism of me of halfway through summer, even if mathematically that doesn't exactly make sense. 4th of July, just around the corner. Some free agency winners on this edition of The Drive. Benjamin Garcia filling in for Jody Ayler. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. You know, the Denver Nuggets are clear losers just right away before we get into the winners in this free agency. Losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and then simultaneously being interested in Russell Westbrook does not make a ton of sense to me. Replacing a 40% three-point shooter, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and 90% from free throw, with Russell Westbrook 27% from three and 68% from the free throw line. Don't love that for the Denver Nuggets, who are flirting with Russell Westbrook, which always ends out poorly for the team recently that signs Russell Westbrook. Other free agency notables, you know, there's this Los Angeles Lakers narrative that I can't lie to you, I did not have on my bingo card, was something that I wasn't well equipped or aware of. LeBron James could take an immediate pay cut in order to fill out this roster. LeBron James is clearly on the back nine of his career. You know, he just got his son. Jason McIntyre of The Herd, friend of the show. Know Jason, very nice guy. Very, very nice guy. He said something very interesting on The Herd last week, and I wanted to make sure I gave him credit. But basically what Jason had said was this. The Lakers did LeBron a solid. 55th, 50 whatever overall pick, drafting his son, get JJ Redick, his head coach, as his guy, and in return, LeBron James would take less to help build out this roster. That was Jason McIntyre's theory. And I can't believe I didn't see it. I can't believe 90% of the world didn't see it. Kudos to Jason for seeing that. LeBron James taking less to get a Klay Thompson, to get a what could possibly be a DeMar DeRozan on the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, just in a nutshell, DeRozan as a mid-range guy makes a lot of sense. Klay Thompson, LeBron works with shooters. Klay shot about 38% from three last year. This Lakers narrative is growing, and it's starting to become more real by the second, and it should leave Suns fans a little worried. If that Lakers team adds a Klay Thompson or adds a DeMar DeRozan to that team, that is really tough for the Phoenix Suns to counterpunch. Because a big three of DeMar DeRozan, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, a big four, if you will, is just scarier than Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. And it's just goes to show you why I love LeBron James. He found an alternative to staying in LA, playing with the son, getting the head coach he wanted, with the potential of getting either a Klay Thompson or a DeMar DeRozan. That is a clear free agent winner if the Lakers are able to do that. It is something I didn't think LeBron had in him, which was a humility to himself to take less than he could to help build out this roster, which is really scary to Suns fans because Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker aren't doing that, nor could they. They're still on their contracts. But it just goes to show you that Lakers team is getting deeper. And if you add a DeMar DeRozan and you take off a KCP from the Denver Nuggets, that Lakers team becomes a whole heck of a lot more scarier. And they could compete with that Nuggets team. Nuggets not so big and bad anymore. And they would match up really well against the Suns, which is tough to have to swallow. Speaking of another team that could be clear free agency winners, Klay Thompson could take less to join the Dallas Mavericks. Now, here's the issue with Klay. He'd probably have to come off the bench because you're not sitting Kyrie or Luka. And defensively, he's not the same guy he used to be. So now you have Luka who can't defend, Kyrie who can't defend, Klay who can't defend. That is worrisome in closing minutes when you have all three of those guys on the floor. But Luka, very similar to LeBron James, works well with shooters. We've seen that with Kyrie. We've seen that now, hopefully, for the Dallas Mavericks, Klay Thompson or Derrick Jones Jr. or PJ Washington. Drive and kick is what the Luka Doncic bread and butter is. It's how he gets a lot of his assists. He's got eyes in the back of his head. Klay Thompson to the Dallas Mavericks makes a lot of sense. And if he takes less to go there to maybe ring chase again to prove to everyone he's not washed, it makes sense. And I like this mature move from Klay Thompson, who decided against the Orlando Magic that just aren't there ready to compete yet, especially with the addition of Paul George to the Philadelphia 76ers. That's just tough. The Dallas Mavericks make a lot of sense for Klay Thompson. Those are some clear free agency winners. And it's crazy to see where it might go. And then the last one, a clear free agency winner. The Oklahoma City Thunder had one glaring hole on their team. Glaring hole. Every team's got weaknesses. The Thunder had a glaring hole at center. Chet Holmgren is great. He's scrawny. He's not that guy in the paint being able to bump bodies bully style. Isaiah Hartenstein, rough around the edges, grab rebounds, take an elbow to someone's face. That is the kind of guy I want at the center position playing next to Chet Holmgren. Do you remember that Oklahoma City Thunder team was ravaged by alley-oops from Derrick Jones Jr., from PJ Washington, from the Dallas Mavericks? They were killed at the rim. They needed more rim protection to stop the rim pressure. Isaiah Hartenstein clearly adds that. So far, so good for the Lakers, the Thunder, and potentially the Dallas Mavericks if they do indeed add Klay Thompson. It's been a very interesting free agency to the scape where it's not crazy names getting traded, but it's teams adding that one last piece that they could need to really compete, to really take it to the next level. The Mavericks with Klay Thompson, the Lakers with DeMar DeRozan, and the Thunder with Isaiah Hartenstein. All three of those guys fit all three of teams' glaring weaknesses they have. The Lakers, it's offense. The Mavericks, it's three-point shooting. They need other guys to be able to hit high-pressure threes in the playoffs. Derrick Jones Jr. couldn't do that in the finals. PJ Washington couldn't do that in the finals. Klay Thompson can deliver that to them. Isaiah Hartenstein adds a physicality and a rebounding effort for a Thunder team that was in desperate need of it last year. It's all very interesting how it's going to play out for the playoffs.